Welcome to the night zone, hear the warriors speak. Life's the battlefield and we ain't feeling weak. From love to the game and the power we seek. Our voice is strong, breaking every peak. Talk of love and battle scars, everything that's real. From touchdown to sermon, you know the deal. Strength in every word we begin to reveal. Truth in every tale as our lives we unveil. Talk of love and battle scars, everything that's real. From touchdown to sermon, you know the deal. Strength in every word we begin to reveal. Truth in every tale as our lives we unveil. Protect and provide, we're knights in the fray. Nothing off limits, we got something to say. Life and love, fitness and fight all day. Guys Night Podcast, let's ride the wave. Politics and prayers.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Guys Night Podcast. Of course,
You okay there, buddy?
yeah. Should have started drinking my locked in a second earlier.
We need to. That's the real intro.
Oh,
Right
wait, hold on,
We're
hold
not
on.
editing
We
that
need
out.
some we got some bloopers going on. We should make a blooper reel.
Locked in, more like locked up.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Guys Night Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Will McEwen. I'm here tonight with, again, David and Evan. What's up, gentlemen?
It's up to you.
All right. Hey, fun fact, 48% of Americans don't own a passport. That means 52% of you do, but none of you guys know what to do with it. Tonight, we're going to discuss our upcoming trip with a bunch of guys and my wife who are going to be making the trip to Scotland and Ireland. We leave actually this Thursday, so 4 days from now. And the guys will be meeting us in Ireland about a week after that. But tonight, we're going to talk about what we've used as far as apps to kind of figure out our way, plan our trip. How in-depth are we going into planning? Rental cars, how to figure out what you're going to drive or get around over there, how much public transportation you're going to use, and just kind of the process of doing that. Because I think more people think that travel is more difficult to do than it is. Sometimes it's just as simple as getting on a plane and getting over somewhere, especially for those of you who have traveled Europe. You know how easy it is to move about the country, as an airline once said, but in a very simple way. It doesn't take a lot of pre-planning. In fact, I think the biggest mistake a lot of travelers make, in my own opinion, is too much planning for a trip when they go outside of the country. What do you guys think the number one
100%
mistake
agree.
is?
100% agree, because people always over. They want to get down to the nit and gritty. They want to do, they want to get everything they could get done in a matter of days, and they don't have time to go and you might just. I tell people, go and walk around, plan 1 to 2 things to do a day, something to do in the morning or something to do in the afternoon and something to do in the evening, and then the rest of the time walk around, talk to the locals, because sometimes the locals have more of the better ideas than some of the websites you go on.
And sometimes the locals will just make you want to take them back to America with you, as the
that's
girl
true,
did in
too.
Ireland, Iceland when we were there last year.
Yeah.
She wanted Marshalls and Chipotle.
And TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx,
And
yes.
she was willing to be an au pair for anybody that was willing to take her back.
Very much so.
David, what do you think the number one mistake is?
Oh, I was back to the au pair because, did she have a pair?
Burp.
Got it. Yeah. Number one mistake?
Yeah, what do you think people make as their number one mistake when traveling?
Well, not going, first of all,
That's a big mistake.
You gotta you have to have that ability to let go of seeing the shore that you're usually looking at. I don't know, it's from a poster I saw in the 90s, you'll never see anything new if you can't take your eyes off, your own shores. But so, yeah.
Well, speaking of the 90s, we just looked up a fun fact for you all. Do you know that in 1989, only 3% of Americans owned a passport?
Isn't that wild?
That is that
crazy.
is so far beyond my realm of comprehension. The fact that I'm reading that and it just boggles my mind. But that being said, I've had the luxury and the fortunateness of being able to travel outside of the country multiple times. Started with the military. I wish I would have done it more in my 20s. So those of you that are young, take advantage of the fact that you can get a flight out of the country for probably $300 to $400, depending on when you go.
Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of the fact that these other countries, especially in Europe, have off seasons. And unlike America, an off season in Europe is typically a significantly big price savings. For instance, you ever pulled up to a Marriott hotel? There's 2 cars in there, yet it's still $200 a night to stay there. We were staying in 5-star resorts in all the different islands of Greece, and it was 2 weeks before their travel season, which technically kicks off May 1st. One of the hotels we stayed in goes for $2,000 to $4,000 a night. We had our own private pool, private hot tub, top of the caldera in Santorini, and we paid less than $200 a night for it. just because it's off season, they don't, and they want to get people there, and they just don't want to have empty rooms. There was places we stayed for 20, 30 euros a night where they cooked you breakfast. You know, I mean, it's crazy.
Well, me and Danny were spending it off. Like it was 2 weeks, or it was actually 3 weeks before Japan was getting busy, and we were getting hotels that were normally $300 to $400 in Tokyo for $65 to $125 a night in Tokyo.
You know, so different people, you know, so, okay, back to what I was saying, you know, don't be afraid to go travel. Like, even if it's to Mexico, like, you know, you're going to travel within what your resources are.
Sure.
And, you know, if you're smart and if you're patient and you're resourceful, you can find deals to go out of the country for pretty reasonable. I mean, I think about the times that I've taken trips to Vegas and just blown stupid money on stupid shit. And, nowadays, like that no longer holds any interest to me. Like I would rather put that money into, you know, let's fly somewhere where they don't speak the same languages that I speak.
Yeah, and you know, you bring up Vegas. Used to go there often with a buddy of mine, and you know, there's nowhere in Vegas you can eat. Now, mind you, the food is amazing just about anywhere in Vegas, right? But there's not many places you can eat where just yourself is going to be anywhere less than $30 to $35 a meal.
Oh yeah.
When we were in Greece, we were eating 5-star pasta meals for like 6 and 7 euros. Like I was like mind boggled. It's still to this day the best pasta I've ever had. Iceland was a little bit expensive. Obviously, you have that kind of Hawaii syndrome. Well, you have that Hawaii syndrome, right? Where everything is an island, everything has to be brought in. They don't govern it as the same. For instance, you know, not to keep going back to Greece, but you know, there's no fresh water in any of the islands on Greece. So the government mandates a limit on what you can charge for water over there. So you could be going into a public tourist attraction and get a 1 liter bottle of water for 40 cents, 80 cents. You could go to a Browns game here and they'll charge you $8 for a 20-ounce water. So, you know, it's just
or
like,
airports.
Yeah, well, airports are insane. So it's just like simple things like that make it easier to travel. You know, I think there's just a lot of things that I've found out over the years. You know, when our last trip we went to Iceland last year, but before that, we flew into London, took a train over to Paris, and then kind of drove all the way through Switzerland down through Italy. I think the number one thing is just being willing to go. Like, don't be afraid. People are like, you drove in Italy? You drove through Paris? And I was like, yeah, it wasn't even that big a deal. The only thing that sucked is I got like 4 speeding tickets mailed to me a year or 2 later. But other than that, it was not a big deal at all.
Will does not have a light foot.
Yeah, I would hate to go back into France. I'm sure they would just nail me if they pulled me over.
Jeez.
But we're going to talk about all these different things tonight. But before we go any further, I wanted to remind you of our sponsor, Locked In. And fortunately, I had one of these left so that I could be locked in for the rest of this podcast. But if you're looking for that ultimate focus, you're looking for a little boost when trying to accomplish your daily tasks. If you're looking for that pre-workout with all the different additives not included, I would highly recommend you check out Locked In. See, I haven't taken a sip yet. That's a problem. Maybe I wouldn't have screwed up the intro too. But I would highly recommend you checking out Locked In. Tack your day, get ready to go. Stay away from all these different energy drinks that are out there that you're drinking 5, 6, 7 of, and you're just crashing at the end of the day. There's no crash. Ultimate power, ultimate focus. It is like Adderall in a can. So Locked In, make sure you check it out. We'll have the description below, as well as the code GKP10 to save your 10%. And yeah, so let's dig into this, guys. David, what's the first country you traveled to outside the United States?
It was Mexico. That was pretty easy to do because I lived in Southern California and I was a kid. So just a easy family vacation over there. I do speak Spanish, so it's pretty easy to communicate with people. But I was
La Vida Loca.
Yep.
Just say it over and over again while you're over there.
That's it. Que onda, way. Just, you know, donde esta, this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
In terms of off continent, so I was very fortunate in that my mother and my stepfather lived in Belgium for 4 years during the 80s. So I'm kind of going back and reliving my experiences there because, you know, when you're a 8-year-old kid, you know, and you live in a split home where, you know, you do mom's house on the weekend, dad's house, you know, during the week, you know, so depending on who your friends were at the different homes, you know, sometimes it's like, it's a treat to go, you know, when mom lived at the beach, you know, it's like, oh, I get to go to the beach. But, you know, then when mom and stepdad are living in Europe, it's like, I got to go to fucking Europe. This is stupid. Like, so as an 8-year-old kid, I didn't appreciate it at all. But so first country off continent was Belgium, and there were some that spoke English, but most they speak Finnish as the dominant language. There's some sides that they speak German, and like the side that's up against German. So there was no really making any friends over there. I didn't have my fucking Nintendo. I had jack shit over there. And, and my mother was a professor, and, she's wanted to take me to museums and shit like that. All the stuff at 10 years old you want nothing to do with. You don't want nothing to fucking do with, And so
now it's like, I can't wait to get over there and check out this awesome cathedral.
that's exact. Like, I last year I went to Germany. So my mother took me to the Berlin Wall while the Berlin Wall was still standing. And so then I went back to that same spot as an adult, and it has a completely different meaning now. And like, I just sat there for probably 4 or 5 hours, just kind of people watching and just enjoying the moment. Right. So it means something different today than it did back then.
Well, and I think, looking back, so my daughter, she's now 16, and I've had the conversation with her multiple times, like about history class and stuff like that. I was like, you know what? It's actually pretty cool. I think there's just a lack in history teachers that ability to have a conversation about the different aspects of history in these different countries and things like that in a way that makes it interesting. So like they just like, oh, I had to learn that the war of 19 started on this date and it because of this, instead of like the different ways that you can interact with that would make it a lot more interesting. Well, the way that you can compare it to like something that they might understand today.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually a teacher I was watching on YouTube that actually uses Assassin's Creed.
Oh, really?
The game to show history off, because there's actually history points in Assassin's Creed. And if you look on YouTube, look up Assassin's Creed teacher shows, and he was showing the Battle of I can't say the Greece I can't say the word right there.
All right, let's see what's.
I was like, that's kind of cool.
I want to see the actual one, but we'll.
So right there, that's going to be the entrance.
Uses a PlayStation 5.
Thermopylae. That's a very narrow
Thermopylae.
passageway in order for the Persians and the Greeks to fight. Now,
and he's using a game system
where the Greeks would be safe.
I mean, that's awesome, because honestly, those kids were probably like, they can visualize it. You're not just talking about it. You're not saying being sent home to read chapters, but anyhow, we're getting off topic here. But go ahead.
Real quickly on that topic, and this kind of ties into like your initial question. There is, it's America. We're one of the youngest countries on the planet. Like, of course, we're the biggest. We're the most badass. All that shit, right? But there's something that's very different about us that others, for those who have not been, outside of the country, that you'll see is that in the U.S., in our history, 250 some odd years, when we have something tragic happen here, we're very quick to like mow it down. So you hear about like, a family gets somebody there and there's like a homicide, or, there's something terrible, like, so there's the big case up in Idaho with the guy that went in and stabbed all the kids, and it's a big court case and all that. They're not even 6 months in, and they mowed the house down. It's gone. It's history.
Wow.
It's a dirt lot. And then ultimately it'll be rebuilt, because who wants to drive by that and look at that house and then have that memory? When you go to Europe, they don't fucking mow shit down over there. Ever.
Never.
Like I went to the St. Nikolai Cathedral in Hamburg, which was hit by bombs by us in World War II. And the only thing that it's the tallest original point. Like there's one other new building that's a little taller, but the tallest building there, tallest church is, so the steeple is still there. And then when you go to the site, there's the bombed out church, and it's there. They've turned it into a memorial. So you're not going to forget it. It's like always there. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting thing. So when you talk about history, so it's wild to see this, that, a teacher, I think that's pretty progressive and pretty neat that you're going to use something like a game system to show something, because, and I'm not saying we rewrite our history. Maybe we do. I don't want to, that's a whole conspiracy theory, but in a way, when you go and you take down a building because something horrific happened there and you just don't ever want to think about it again, and you want to put something else there, you are sort of rewriting history, meaning it's going to be forgotten. And so certain things should be forgotten, but you go back to World War II and all the atrocities and everything. I mean, there's concentration camps that are still In Germany, there's Dachau, which, most people don't really even know anything about, but it's not only still standing, like they built like super expensive homes around this thing that people go and tour it and everything. So not only is there anything worse than like what happened then? But these things are still standing and they still go, and they've turned them into tourist attractions.
I think there's something different to that, though, in the sense of that being history in that sense versus a homicide. Because if you look at what Pearl Harbor's become, right, or you look at what the trade centers have become, that's not history that we've completely eliminated.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen we haven't seen like but a minute percentage of what these other countries, because of that age thing that we talked about. The other thing that's, when you travel, you get to experience is the fact that, we're going to Scotland and Ireland. What's the big attraction in Scotland and Ireland?
Jameson whiskey.
Okay. Very true.
Redheads.
I was going to say redheads. That was
Castles, you motherfuckers.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Redheads and Jameson. I know what you guys are
is that
traveling
where
for.
is that where they keep the redheads? Is that the castles?
But you look at, the big thing over there is castles. There's still so many standing. There's still so many that are, tourist attractions, but there's a lot of abandoned ones that you can just walk around and check out.
We when I was there the first time, we and my brother found a monastery.
Yeah.
Those trees were growing out of.
Yeah. Well, and then when we were in Greece, same thing. Like there's so, obviously Greece is known for,
Rubble, rush.
The myths, what's the word I'm looking? Mythical gods and stuff like that. And you look at like Apollo and all that stuff is still standing. These buildings are still standing, thousands and thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And my wife and I joke about it. Like, could you imagine if we just walked away from our house right now? Like, how long would it actually last?
Yeah,
without upkeep, without everything, and it wouldn't be that long, right before it was gone.
No,
and it's just the way things were built back then was completely different. I mean, look at the pyramids,
right?
A site that I have not yet been to see, but it's just incredible. So we've gotten off topic here a little bit about tips and tricks. Say that 3 times fast. But just some things to think about. Evan, what was the first country you visited outside the U.S.?
Believe it or not, Canada.
Canada.
I didn't really leave
Niagara Falls.
Yeah, my first, and then after that was Montreal.
Okay,
I didn't
That's
really.
Still in Canada, by the way.
It's still in Canada, yeah. But before like high school and middle school, I didn't leave the U.S. We traveled around the U.S.
Yeah.
But when I was in college, we did Canada, Mexico, just the close ones.
And have you guys done cruises at all?
One,
Yeah. I've done a couple.
I cannot do a cruise. To me,
I
I
can't
don't
do that
like the
either.
idea of being restricted to an itinerary.
Yes.
I
And then
think that's the
drinking,
hardest.
just drinking all the time, because you do. There's a lot to do on the thing, but drinking and eating and playing on gambling and seeing plays it seems boring to me.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I can tell you that the best cruise that I was on was a country booze cruise where it was either concerts, line dancing, drinking.
Yeah.
Maybe some eating every once in a while, but then more concerts, line dancing, and drinking.
Yeah, and I don't think they're a bad thing. It's just not something
Yeah.
that I could do. If I ever did a cruise, I would go on an Alaskan cruise just because I think it's a quick
I've
way
done
to
that
see
one.
Alaska without spending like weeks and weeks driving
Right.
through nothing. But
Yeah.
to each their own. I don't consider that as leaving the country. So for those of the 52% of you that have a passport so you can get off the boat somewhere, it does not count. Mexico was my first vacation. Obviously, I was in Kuwait and Iraq, Afghanistan, so I got to see foreign countries in a different mindset, which at that point I had no desire to see any other ones because, like, God, I want to go back to America. But obviously, different scenario. Mexico's an easy one. I mean, if you're 21 years old, 22 years old, and you haven't made it to Mexico, like, shame on you, because you could stay there for 4 days, all you can eat, all you can drink for about $700, including your hotel room, amusing pools, beautiful beaches.
All you can fuck too. Evan.
Yes.
So that brings me to the first trick and tip for you that are traveling from inside the United States. If you're looking for a cheap flight and you have a budget airline out of your local airport, Frontier, Spirit are a couple that come to mind. I'm sure there's a couple other. Breeze. One of the tricks that I have recently learned about 2 years ago was, and this is thanks to my brother who was traveling back and forth to Florida all the time. Those airlines have so many convenience fees tied into their online purchasing system. So what I mean by that is if you go to buy a ticket on Frontier and it's, say, $200 online through Google Flights or whatever you're using, but instead you go to the airport and purchase it at the counter, Our $280 flights to Cancun came back at like $114 each. So we spent $230 to fly to Cancun versus $560. But make sure you guys check that out, especially like if you're taking a one-way trip. For us, Cleveland to Tampa is a quick direct flight round trip. We've been at $120, $130 round trip, and when you go to the airport and buy those tickets, they were like $57. So it doesn't work with the big airlines, as we found out when we booked our flights to Iceland last year. We tried to do the same thing, and it didn't work. But for your budget airlines, make sure that you look at booking those trips at the actual airport. It's a fun tip, and it's a great way to save some money on your flight, especially if there's a group of you guys flying, or, you know, I'd hate to imagine what it's like for a $400 flight. I imagine it could be even more of a significant savings there for you. But those are convenience fees that are charged by those budget airlines. I'm surprised you don't hear about it more often. I try to tell everybody I know about it when I come across that, because even if you're just trying to travel inside the United States, like it's very often, I should say, that I can find a $60 flight round trip to Tampa that if I go to the airport and I'm really trying to save money, you can get it for like $32, sometimes $27. And I mean, just think about that. That's like a 12-pack of Mountain Dew at the gas station. Like, it's just crazy the amount of money that you could save when trying to travel. So,
yeah, you couldn't drive it for that. I mean, gas in your car to and from would cost more than that.
Way more than that. So, yeah, make sure you guys are checking that out when next time you're flying on a budget airline, whether it's Cancun or Florida or wherever the case. I know for sure it's Frontier and Spirit. You can take advantage of that.
Another thing I find is that shop, I mean, obviously booking in advance is smart, you know, like that will give you more options per se. Being flexible with your dates, that's helpful as well. But I find that like when I'm actually ready to buy, if I'm looking on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, because the fares change, right?
Yeah,
they change every day, and I've seen them, and now it doesn't always work. And just like, that's not a magic bullet that Tuesdays and Wednesdays is going to work. But I'll find that certainly if I'm looking on a Friday or Saturday, you're going to see like peak costs. But I've seen that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that those seem to be the better days for looking for, not for the actual day you're purchasing your tickets.
Well, something else I'll do is I'll sign in on my regular internet browser on my phone under Safari or whatever. I'll sign into my Google account. I'll put the flights that I want to go into, and I'll hit markers so that it reminds me if there's a price drop or something along the way. That way you can set it up for 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
But then when I actually go to purchase the tickets, or if I'm looking for tickets, I go into privacy mode on my phone, so that the airlines, believe it or not, the airlines are actually using your IP address to track what locations you're researching, looking for. So if you do it on your regular browser, you could be looking at a plane ticket that your buddy's looking at. He's never researched on his phone. You have on yours, and your flight will be $200 more for the exact same flight.
Yeah.
I saw that online a while back. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So I put it to the test, and I literally looked at, this was a flight to Hawaii. I looked at the flight every day for 5 days, and I kid you not, each time I looked at it, it went up by like $100 to $150. It went to the point where it was like a $550 flight, was up to $11, and then went to private browser to book it, and it was back down to like $512. So
that's wild.
I was blown away by that fact. But just a couple of easy ways to start looking for inexpensive trips, and then also, you know, I don't have to tell everybody this, but if you're not maximizing the multiple different ways there are to get tickets, I used Capital One this time. You used Expedia to book your flight this time?
Yeah. I traveled so much using that I've got their platinum, so I get top discounts on everything with all the points that I have. And then it really pays for me when I book cars and when I book hotels. Like, I'm usually like 50% off of hotels for anything. So,
well, and that's another thing too. I mean, obviously you can't guarantee every single time what you're going to do, but try to find, whether it's a rental car company, a hotel company, a flight company, try to find somebody that you are comfortable with using all the time, and that you can travel anywhere in the world to.
Build loyalty.
Build that loyalty. It does help depending on what you travel. Like for work, I always used Marriott. So then it was that much easier when I travel out of country to use Marriott points to get a hotel if I needed to. But same thing goes with flights with rental car companies. I used Avis all the time for work, so now I still use Avis to the day. Like you said, I'm a platinum member. I get like 50% off my rentals no matter where I go. I'm not doing it this time in Europe, but the last couple of times I did. So take advantage of those different rewards and loyalty programs that are out there. Get consistent with it, and that's a great way to save you some money as well, I think. Evan, what's something that you found has been a great tip or trick that you can share with us?
For me, it's all about the apps. I've been using apps for years. Like, did you ever hear of what's it called? Skip Lag?
I have not heard of Skip Lag.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the phone, and it's an app where you book a flight. Say you want to book a flight to Chicago. It will scan all the flights. Give me a second.
Looks like there's a site for it too, huh?
Yeah, it's called Skip Lag, and you put in the destination. Well, it's kind of an illegal app too because
Comment below if you want to use an illegal app to save money.
because it literally books you 2 flights. But say you're going to one location, it's cheaper to book 2 flights.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. So, but doing this, you have to travel with
Light.
a
Light,
carry-on,
yes,
right?
correct.
Because you don't.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where, like,
Yes.
if you're going to Chicago, it might be cheaper to book like the full flight to like from here to California, but then just not take the connecting
Correct.
flight, jump off, and
Get off and stuff. And I've used that a few times, multiple times. And they've actually gotten a little better on certain things too, because they are also international now too.
okay.
So if you want to do like, so you want to fly to Rome, but it lands in London, or first flight is to Rome, then to London, and they books maybe it's like $1,200, and you just want to book to Rome, it's like $1,800. You just get off. But again, you got to pack light again.
you got to pack.
Yeah,
some-
gotta pack-
just
Well,
carry on.
so
Or I have a friend that ships himself luggage a few days ahead
That
of time.
seems like so much work, but I could see it being eventful. I have a better idea actually, and this for you guys. This is the Guys Night podcast. Trick for all you men. Travel as much as you can before you get
Yes.
married, because then you could literally travel with a t-shirt, jeans, and a pair of shorts,
Yes.
and then wherever you go, if you need an extra pair of clothes, you could just go to a Goodwill or
Buy it.
it's not Goodwill over there, but you can go find. There's so many shops and boutiques where you can buy cheap clothes from, and continue on your way.
Especially if you go anywhere in Asia.
Yes. Yes.
You
Where
can make
it's
a
all
trip to
made.
you can make a trip to the Shein headquarters in China.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you could buy things for pennies on the dollar in there. But yeah, I mean, when you're traveling, the less you can travel with, the better. I always tell my wife now, like if it were me traveling to the different places we've gone, duffel bag. I could wear jeans 7 days in a row and not care. I could wear shorts 6 days in a row. I could always find, for me, I would use hostels because they're like €6 and €7 a night.
Yeah.
They usually have somewhere to do laundry, so you could do laundry while you're there, wash your stuff. When we were in Greece, we actually met a guy. He was a gym teacher from San Francisco on sabbatical. Didn't know gym teachers could take sabbatical, but they can.
Guess so.
And he's like, I have a duffel bag. I have like 3 pairs of shorts, like 3 white t-shirts, and a couple of wife beaters. And he's like, I just try to wash them whenever I get a chance. He's like, but if I stink, oh well.
This sounds like the story of the Incredible Hulk. Does it? Just left and, sabbatical, just went from town to town with a duffel bag, and that's it. Had to buy new clothes because, he'd turn into the Hulk and destroy his clothes, and then, he'd wake up naked and then just go to Goodwill.
It's just so much easier. And, I love traveling with my wife. Don't get me wrong. But like, she's like, I need a suitcase because I need this, I need that. And I need 47 different outfits for all the things that we're going to do. And I'm like, man, I would just literally travel with nothing. And I would be happy. Now, I obviously do carry a bag because if I'm going to carry hers, I might as well bring my own. And, you plan for dinners and you plan for outfits when you go out and stuff like that. But I think if I were to do it on my own, I wouldn't just not really care what I was wearing. Or I would just buy outfits while I was over there, get rid of them, move on to the next one because you could buy an outfit over there for €30 anywhere.
Well,
And
for me,
it's
it's
just one less thing you got to carry on. I mean, just so much easier to do it that way.
it's a lot harder for me because I need my insulin bag. You got to understand.
What does that have to do with clothes?
Well, I'm just saying, but for me, I always got to have an extra
Insulin-proof clothes?
That's not like that.
So what? You just carry a duffel bag? If you carry a duffel bag,
I can carry a duffel bag. But
How about a fanny pack?
I've never tried a fanny pack before.
No.
It's the problem is I need to carry multiple kinds of insulin with me.
Yeah.
And one of it needs to be cold at all times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's that.
So that's the biggest thing.
So
And every time I
no smuggling that up
No,
the old hoo-ha.
no. It comes with this giant container. And it looks like metal, and I guarantee you, when I go to the airport this time, they're gonna take it all apart. Look through it. Is there anything sharp that's in here?
Yeah, I got 45
I
needles.
was like, I said to one girl, I'm like, I got fucking things that'll fucking broke you. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, so I mean, we've talked about a couple of things already, but
What about like we did talk about cars, we talked about planes.
well, here let's talk about rental cars and let's talk about driving overseas.
yeah.
Period, because every place is different. This is gonna be the first time I've driven on the left side of the road on a right-hand drive car. Good news is the gas and the clutch are still in the same order. But you know, that was one of the things. My first trip with my wife out of the country, Hawaii and stuff, plenty of times, but in Mexico, but Greece. I was like, I'm gonna rent a car. And first of all, rental cars in Europe, I paid 17 euros a day that time. I think this time I'm paying like 11 euros a day.
Yeah.
Is it the same in Germany, or do you see higher prices?
No, it's definitely higher there.
Is it?
Yeah. There's nothing. The cost of the cars generally in Europe, I think, like for what we're getting this time around, is a little bit of an anomaly, and I think it's just because most people go there, they don't rent cars, they just hop on the buses, or they stay right in Dublin and hop in buses. So I think they have a surplus. But Germany, on the other hand, there's deals. But yeah, I think my last trip, I want to say, was somewhere around 58 euros a day, so was not cheap. That was a cheap car. That was a little Fiat 500. Like if I wanted, you know.
So when I went to Greece, obviously you want to see all the different islands, and there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can ferry between all the islands, or you can fly. We were gonna ferry, but I wanted to rent a car from this one place, and I was just like, I'm just gonna take it on the ferries. You can take cars on the ferries over there, right? So 17 euros a day. First of all, coolest thing ever. We like pull up. It's this wide open, like dusty field outside of the Athens airport. The guy that picked me up did not speak a lick of English. Didn't even try. In fact, I think he was prepared to just leave me at the airport if I didn't keep calling back. But then we got there and they were the coolest dudes ever. They're like, "Oh, you smoke?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Here's an ashtray." I was like, "For what?" He's like, "For the car, so you don't get ashes all over you." I'm like, "What? Seriously?" Okay, sweet. But it was 17 euros a day. And we just took it on the ferry. Typically, depending on which ferry to which different island, it was anywhere from like $60 to $100 to put it on the ferry, right? But then, one, you don't have to be the guy that carries all your bags onto the ferry, for one, which if you've ever been to the ferries in Europe, like, yeah, they have a place to put your bags. It's just a big pile by the big door in the back, right? Two, then you walk on, you drop your bags, you go sit on the ferry, whatever. And then when you get off, you have to go grab all your bags, walk off, and then what's the first thing you have to do?
Go rent a car.
Go rent a car or catch a cab.
Yeah.
A cab is typically over the, like, especially like on Milos or the different islands, like if you're catching a cab, you think it's going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 euros, or an Uber or whatever you're using. And then if you want to rent a car on those islands, it'd be as much as $150 a day. So I was like, oh, thank goodness I just took my car with me. My stuff was in it the whole time. It was a Volkswagen Up. Shout out to that Volkswagen Up, man. That thing got it. But yeah, so it's the same thing that we're going to do here. In fact, I'm working with the rental car companies. I got to call them tomorrow because Ireland, Scotland, and Northern Ireland are technically three different countries in a sense, the way that we think of countries, right? So I can take a car from Dublin Airport to Belfast, which is in Northern Ireland, but I cannot take that to Scotland. I called all the rental companies. None of them let you take it from Dublin to there. But I believe I can take the car from there, drop it off at Belfast, get a rental car from Belfast, take that on the ferry to Scotland, drive around Scotland, come back, and then I can take that around the rest of the way and drop it off when Dublin we go to leave. So I think that's the trick, is you got to rent it in the middle ground. Like that's like, you know, but I'm going to confirm that tomorrow. But something to be aware of. There's no rental car companies. I looked it up. There's a lot of places they say they do. There's no rental car companies from the Dublin airport that allow you to take that car on a ferry over to Scotland. Got to be able to get it from Northern Ireland. So take that into consideration. Make sure you check that stuff out ahead of time. But if you can get a rental car that you can use for the entire trip, it just makes your job for traveling so much easier. You don't have to worry about carrying your bags anywhere. You don't have to worry about how you're gonna get to one location or the other. And driving over there is not that scary. So experience in Greece, I was kind of surprised. Here, if somebody's like driving faster than you, people just don't move out of the way. Over there, you'd be on like a 2-lane road and like cars would like drive off the side of the road, driving in the ditch and the sand to let you pass. Like I was like, this is the craziest thing ever. Iceland, it is so easy to speed over there, and they are on it when it comes to their traffic
speeding.
cameras,
Oh,
their
yeah.
police officers, and stuff like that. Like I got 2 tickets when I was there.
Well, our friend Brian got it's his first speeding ticket
Yeah.
ever in a foreign country, and he's a cop.
Yeah.
So
My experience driving from Paris to Switzerland to Italy, all through Italy, relatively easy experience. Even some of the high traffic areas, getting in and out of Paris. I mean, it was no different than driving in Cleveland or anything like that. More highway lanes, but for the most part, the same. I think I got 3 speeding tickets there. I didn't actually find out about those until 2 years later. Traveling through Switzerland, extremely easy. Cool note, you drive through the Alps, you're like 5 miles underneath the top of the mountains in caves as you're as in tunnels. Perfect service. Service never dropped.
get out of here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, never, not once. And it was funny because my wife and I are like, how can't we can't get service in the hills of West Virginia, but we're like in the middle of a mountain on a tunnel that lasts like 5 miles, which is challenging, believe it or not, mentally. And you're like, perfect service. All right. Italy was a little bit crazy because Italy is like, if you have a motorbike, you own the road. Like you'll be at a stoplight, you'll be the first one at the stoplight, and then you'll blink and there'll be like 25 scooters and 5 dirt bikes in front of you at the light. And you're like, and they're all like crammed up in this little spot, just wait for it to turn green. But yeah, overall, both easy experiences. I'm a little nervous about Scotland and Ireland only because the size of the roads, from what I understand, is extremely narrow.
I got a story on that.
Okay.
The story, when I was with my family in Ireland, my dad rented a car. He was driving. I told him when he drives, when the big tour bus or any kind of big buses are driving on opposite on the road coming towards you, you're going to have to turn almost all the way into the ditch. And he did that, but he was in such a hurry because there was so many people that were doing that. He sped off and didn't all the way get onto the road. And when we were going right before we got to the bridge, he hit the bridge.
Oh, good time.
And on the side, and he flattened the tire, scratched the side of the thing. We had to pull into the town. I had to change the tire because he did not know how to change the tire.
I would have loved to have seen that. Would you have paid money to watch Evan change a tire?
I would have.
I changed the tire. Because it's believe it
I
or not,
weed the beds. I changed the tires.
I changed
We
the tires.
I changed the
And
Were
the
you
funny-
wearing a hat?
Where you
for this?
were?
Well, and the funny thing is,
Hold on, Dad. Let me get my hat on.
Yep.
Doing work. Doing work here.
no, but the funny thing is, my dad got the full coverage, the full insurance. It did not cover certain kinds of damage.
Running into bridges didn't cover that. That is my biggest fear. Knock on wood, is getting hit with some kind of damage over there in a foreign country because
$1,800.
they probably don't care. Just make sure you cancel all your credit cards immediately.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, driving over there wasn't in any of those countries was not that bad that I could think of. There was definitely some instances in Greece, in Santorini specifically, and in downtown Athens where I was not prepared for. Like they're like, oh, MapQuest, Google Maps is like, go this way, and then as you're going, like you're driving through like the town, and there's like tables on the road. And I mean, they're like families eating dinner, and there's like 12 feet between them. Not even actually. Like, good thing I was in like a Volkswagen Up and not like my pickup truck. I would have never made it through there without wiping out tables. And I was like, this isn't my wife. She already hates riding with me, period. But like over there, she was like a nervous wreck just about everywhere we drove. And I took her through some pretty hairy situations. We went to this minefield on, what was it called? Gosh, I'm trying to not Mykonos, Milos. And like I had the Volkswagen Up, and we're like on an off road that's all rinsed out. And it's like bottoming out and like smashing on and stuff. And we're like right there, and we ran into somebody. And they were like, do you want to just ride with me? We're like, yeah. She's like, wait, so we're getting we don't even know this guy. He's got like pots and pans in the back of his truck. I'm like, seems like a pretty good dude. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I took the ferry over here from Austria and was just on his little trip. You know?
Love it.
But yeah, don't be afraid to rent a car in these other countries. If you could drive in the United States with all the idiots on the road, you can definitely drive over there. In fact, in a lot of cases, it's just taking your time. Have you found the same thing for the most part in your experiences?
Yeah, there's some areas. I mean, like Germany's pretty wide open for the most part. I mean, they've got the most advanced highway system on the planet called the Autobahn.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of technology in that thing that you just don't really imagine is necessary. But then you look at their safety over there; it's pretty unbelievable. But then
what's the speed limit on the Autobahn? Is it like 180?
Well, no, it
150?
changes. It changes, and it'll be posted in kilometers. Whether it's, I think the slowest you're ever going is 50 kilometers, and then
That's pretty slow.
then there's sections. That's like when you're going through a construction zone or through a town, and then it's 80 in a lot of places, and then it'll go up to 120, and then there will be no limit at all.
That's
And
insane.
when you're in
A
areas,
maximum speed recommended of 130
yeah.
is recommended.
So
No legally enforced maximum speed
nope.
on
Nope.
certain sections.
So
That's
there-
insane.
So I was in this last trip, I was in a hybrid Fiat 500. So
Okay.
rocking my cowboy hat because, giddy up.
The one that you're wearing right now?
No, it wasn't this one from
The
Cowboy
actual-
Revolution Clothing. I was actually wearing my actual one. And then on the warm days, I opened up the rag top. It was kind of cool. But anyway, I digress. I got that car up to about 125 km. That was about the max I could get it going. There was a guy, I shit you not, it had to have been like I would say probably like a 2016, 2017 Camaro ZL1
Wow.
came up on me. Like I was sitting still, and he like came up, looked at me with my cowboy hat on and stopped, and he kind of did one of these. Like I have to believe he might've been American, because, either that or a very wealthy German that decided like a ZL. And for people that don't know Camaros, that's a Camaro that out of the box from the factory, it does 190 miles an hour. So he just looked over at me, nodded, and then just like, it's not like just zoom, like, because we're doing 120 km, so whatever that equates to, like 135 miles an hour, and he just steadily pulled away from me like I was just watching him drive on. But BMWs, things just blowing past me in the open areas. Like when I was driving between Hamburg and Berlin at that point, and it's countryside and wide open. The trucks rule the road there, though. The trucks have the right of way no matter what. And at nighttime,
Like semi-trucks?
And that's a sight to see. Like if you're just driving along, like if they're behind you and you're cruising and you're in the fast lane for whatever reason, they throw the lights on. And when I say the lights, they've got, I don't even know how powerful. Anybody who's driven at night over there knows this, but it is enough where the entire inside of your car is now daylight. Oh, wow. So they're all over the truck, top, bottom, and everything. When they turn those on, you have like moments to move over. Like that's something that you'll get pulled over for not driving fast enough or getting out of their way. Because that's
intense.
And it's not just, dudes just in trucks. It's like, they're moving merchandise and shit. Like that's, their business. But anyway, so you get into the open areas, like, it's wide open, but then you'll pull into, like, you can pull in, like, I'm thinking like down near Munich and in and around Straubing, where you'll end up in neighborhoods where you're driving. Yeah. Google Maps will tell you, to make a left coming up here. And then you're driving through a cobblestone street village where, people are eating on the sidewalk, and, you're driving maybe 10 kilometers, maybe 5 kilometers an hour, over there. So,
hey, real quick, guys, this is your chance to subscribe, like the show, but also comment below. What's the hairiest situation you've been in when traveling, or more importantly, what are your tips or things that you've learned along the way that maybe we've left out so far, just between flights, rental cars, driving experiences, some of these different countries? Please share them with us. We'd love to make sure that we could talk about those amongst ourselves, but also so that our viewers can kind of see some different ideas when it comes to traveling, on ways that, it can be a little bit easier for them. How old were you when you first got out there and were out traveling the world and seeing more out there? What was your experience? What countries did you visit? Please comment below. Let us know what you guys think in those experiences. We'd love to hear it, wherever it was. And, yeah. So, guys, what made us choose Scotland and Ireland, out of curiosity? Because we already spent last June, the warmest month in Ohio, pretty much, freezing our butts off in Iceland, where half the country was shut down because of a winter storm warning that literally consumed the entire country, shut down half the road. Nina was actually looking at videos the other day, because it's been about a year, where we were doing snow angels in the mountains.
And I was sleeping.
Probably.
that's half the video.
Yeah, that's half the trip. Evan is sleeping.
Me, I'm sleeping. I'll sleep when we're traveling, but when we're out walking around, I'll walk around. But when it comes to me driving in a car, in a bus, in a train, I'll be sleeping. Sorry, that's how I am.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to Scotland and Ireland. It's gonna be. I did see this week is beautiful. It's like 60s and sunny.
Next week it's going to be 60s. It says right now.
and rain.
Yes,
and rain,
I know,
Evan.
I
It's
know.
gonna rain a lot, but that's okay. We got rain jackets.
Yep.
But yeah, what kind of led us to this decision?
I think it's just everyone that wants to go see castles and see some. I know why David wants to go. He wants to go for the redheads.
It's not well. So to
Bringing it
answer,
around.
to answer your question, I think it was a combination of looking at affordable. It's not always girls. Affordable airfare.
Sure.
No.
Which
And
we're
then,
fortunate. Cleveland has a one-way direct flight to Dublin and back, which was
Yeah.
awesome. That's always a win too.
Yeah, that helped.
For real quick, another tip and trick: like check out all your international airports around you, right? Because when we went to Iceland, we drove 2 hours to Detroit. It was about a $400 flight savings, and it was a direct flight. So make sure you guys are checking out ideas like that as well when you're trying to book your own flights. Highly don't recommend using travel agencies for travel, by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead, David.
But yeah, so affordable
Well, we
travel
also
was
put it
one.
on a spin wheel too, so we had a few.
We did, but I
choices.
think we did put it on the spin wheel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited. There's a ton of stuff for us to see, a lot of different aspects. Fortunately, you guys weren't going to be joining me in Scotland.
I wish.
Evan's a
Brandon.
huge vagina and couldn't tell his boss that he's not working on Friday. So because of that, he's going to miss out on. We're going to get to experience quite a few different distilleries and stuff like that. I'm pretty excited about. Obviously, you got the Isle. What island is it up north?
Isle of Man.
Yeah, no, not that one. There's another one. I'll have to look. Luckily, we're going to show you where we're going exactly on our
Travels.
Wanderlog app, which we'll talk a little bit more. But what is this called? Anyhow,
I gotta. Never mind you. I gotta download that motherfucker again.
yeah. Where was I at with that? Oh, so yeah, I'm gonna get a chance to see that. I'm gonna get to see some castles while up there. I'm pretty excited about Edinburgh. It looks like there's a lot to do up there. I wish that you guys would be able to join us up there, but yeah, Ireland's still gonna be one hell of a trip as well. So we're actually gonna be probably meeting you guys the second day. You guys are in Belfast. So what's the game plan right now as we start out?
I'm letting. This will be my third time in Ireland. Third time in Ireland. So I've seen a lot of the what's it called? The traveler. The what do you call it? What do you call it? We get tourist traps. I've been in a lot of the tourist traps already in Ireland. I've seen Cliffs of Moher. I've seen the Great Library. I've seen a lot of the college. The big college campus out there, or the university out there. I've done a lot of that stuff. I've been to Newcastle bars, all the bars in Newcastle. So
Well, you haven't been to the oldest bar. That's in Ireland.
no,
right?
yeah, that's in Ireland.
Is that the world's oldest pub?
I think it's the world's oldest pub. It's been open for I don't know how many hundreds of years.
That's Sean's bar.
Yeah,
I've got it right here.
how many?
Low ceiling,
1,000 years.
1,000-year-old watering hole with riverside garden, live music, and historical.
I can't wait to see that. I didn't see that last time I was
One
there.
thing that Evan didn't get to see.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make.
But I'm
sure
gonna
he gets it this time.
I'm gonna let David.
I'm gonna be interested to see. Oh, we should be able to make that trip. There's a little roadway going through there, unless we go. I don't know. We're gonna have to see.
Go to that map that I airdropped you. If you could pull that up, that would, I think, help.
Wanderlog.
Hold on, guys. Not technical difficulties.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Idiot. What is going on here?
Okay.
I'm going to minimize this for a second. Let's see if this helps. And then we'll talk about kind of how I planned my trip. But all right, so got the map of Ireland up here.
Okay, so this looks a little funky, but where the waypoint is, the red dot there, that's Dublin.
Uh-huh.
So here's tentatively how I see the trip going is day one, we land there in Dublin and drive straight to Belfast.
Right,
So
about 2-hour trip.
about a 2-hour drive. So we'll stay in Belfast
Which
one
is
night.
Northern Ireland.
It's Northern Ireland. It's part of the UK technically. So the plan would be to stay there one night, and then, so for the most part, I think the Belfast stuff, like the touristy stuff that we would want to see, we're going to do on that first day.
Mm-hmm.
And then, where are you going?
Sorry. So what do you guys have planned in Belfast
Well,
specifically?
there's a number of different things. So the things that I think are the highlight for Belfast would be.
I'm just going to try to pull up my map simultaneously to see if I'm going to try anyhow.
So, of course, you got McConnell's distilleries there. There's a lot of walking tours throughout town.
In Belfast, you're talking about?
Belfast.
Are you guys going to see the Titanic Museum?
I have no interest in seeing the Titanic Museum.
Okay.
Same here.
But that doesn't mean that it won't be seen. But for me personally, I don't have any interest in seeing the museum. Now, maybe down at the southern point of Ireland, seeing the port, that may be of interest, but the museum is not of interest.
Yeah, for me, Belfast, I know we're going to see the Titanic Museum. We're going to see that on the first day that we're there. And then we got Paisley Park on here. Failed to load. What is going on here?
And
Really like to see what Paisley Park is because I don't remember. It's acting goofy. But yeah, so real quick, we're pulling up the map here, guys, just to kind of show you. But I wanted to give a quick shout out. If you're looking to travel and you're looking for a way to help plan your trip in a way that doesn't necessarily start off organized, but does start off with a bunch of different places that you want to see along the way, highly recommend Wanderlog. And there may be some better ones out there. They're not a sponsor of the show. We don't get any affiliate links or anything like that for them. But Wanderlog, Wanderlog, as you can see, really awesome to just go ahead and put in all the different places that you want to go. And on the map, it's going to kind of pinpoint them. And as you can see on my map, I've got some different colors set up here, right? So essentially, it'll use as an AI platform to go ahead and map out the best way to see everything that you want to see in the most efficient way. And then it allows you to go ahead and start plugging those days out as part of your itinerary so that each day you can go ahead and put on there what we're going to do on Monday, what we're going to do on Tuesday. So I'll show you again real quick here on the app. So on Friday, this is what we've got planned. I can look down here on Sunday, the 18th, what I've got planned, where we're going to visit. And it just makes it easy for you to figure out, okay, it's a 2-minute drive here, a 2-minute walk, a 12-minute walk here. But it kind of just blankets it out, makes it real simple for you to kind of follow it. And the way that I've always traveled, I kind of have a gist of what I want to see. I kind of have an idea of how I'm going to see it all. But for me, if we get crappy weather, I'll delay my trip a day to make sure I see something that's really important to me. But this is a terrific way for you to map out the different places you can go. And as you can see from what you saw on David's map, they're not quite going to the southern tip that we're going to see. But that's because we want to make sure that we get to take advantage of the Ring of Kerry. We want to make sure that we get out to a couple of different waterfalls and stuff that are out there.
Yeah.
This is an awesome place for those, what do they call it? This is like... essentially the whole place is made out of stone. Looks super wicked. So
that was actually shot in Star Wars movie.
yeah, so that was another thing I'm learning too, especially with Scotland. So many of those spots are part of either Star Wars, but specifically Game of Thrones.
Yes, a lot of Game of Thrones.
I'm a big Game of Thrones fan,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty excited to see some of the different places that we're going to visit while we're up in Scotland. But this is a great way. It allows you to plug in your flights. It allows you to plug in your rental cars, where you're picking it up, where to drop it off, and it all makes it part of that itinerary. So would highly recommend you guys using the Wanderlog app. I think for the full benefit where it integrates with your maps and Googles and flights and email address and everything, I want to say I paid $39 for the year. Would strongly recommend it. So let's get back to me burping. Let's get back to the map that David's got worked out here. So is this something that you, is everybody already on board with this? Is this kind of the route you guys have already set aside, or?
Well, since there's only been one other person who's actually not present here who has really expressed any sort of interest, we'll say this is set in stone. And
Gotcha.
if anybody else has other plans, they can rent their own car and go wherever they want.
Now, I thought you guys were going to make the trip down to Cork.
Well, you've interrupted, so we haven't even gotten past day one here. So
I'm looking at the map. It doesn't go down to Cork.
Okay.
See, Cork.
Yeah, no, I understand. I created the map there, but
All right. So day one. you
okay,
guys are
so we're
spend
gonna
some time
we're
in
gonna return
Belfast.
back to what we were talking about.
Yep. Let's get back on track.
Okay,
Day
so
one, you're in Belfast.
day
Then you're
one
going
in-
up to Portrush.
Portrush.
Whatever. I like to sound Irish.
We're completely sober, so it's impossible to sound Irish right now.
Let's wait and see. So what's in Portrush that you guys are looking?
Okay, so we'll probably do 2 nights up in that area there.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff on that northern end up there to see.
I'm just pulling up my side by side so I can kind of see what I've got going on in that area too. But I mean, there is a ton of stuff up here.
Yeah, castles, there's distilleries, there's all sorts of stuff to see up there.
Let's see. I have the Kinbane Castle. I'm not sure what this Carrick E-Ride is. I think this was a ferry out to this island. Good luck. Waterfalls. Don't go chase. Shepherd's Steps is up there.
Yep.
Dunluce Castle. So yeah, that's just some of the things that are up there. What is this?
Yep.
The Dark Hedges. Check this place out. What is going on with my photos? Why is it not pulling up the photos when I click on these? That's so messed up.
Yeah.
See if I can do it.
There's one thing I have to grab.
There you go. Check this place out. So this place looks really super awesome, but it looks. My wife and I were looking at it. I think it's only like 200 feet long. But cool little spot to drive through. So that's up that way too. Look at that, Evan. You take a picture of that.
Oh, I want to definitely take a picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Will you bring a camera?
Oh yeah. I'm bringing 3 cameras
Okay.
with 3 lenses.
Okay.
I have a hard time traveling with cameras. I'm gonna bring I have my backpack all set up. Shout out to Colix for the Lancer 300 backpack. I'm excited to bring it. I think I could pack every single aspect of my videography, photo, drones, everything in it. But it is so hard when I'm over there to do that for a couple of reasons. One, like you're just there enjoying it. Like you don't think to get a camera out every chance that you get. 2, it's like, when do I start? When do I stop? And then 3 is you have to edit it all at the end. So my wife and I are talking about, we haven't edited anything from Iceland yet.
No,
That's
It's
correct.
been a year.
Yeah.
Now, when it's on my phone, I have no problem like doing whatever it is, whether it's editing the videos or creating. But when it's all on different SD card drives and stuff like that, like I'm terrible at it. This time, I'm going to try to do a little bit better and be a little bit more organized.
Yep.
But we'll see.
So a lot of stuff to do on the north end there. So let me do this here just before we burn. Let me just outline. Let me go back to the other map there, just so we understand. That one, just so we understand where. So I guess the other thing to throw at this is that we're basically going to be divided into 3 groups.
Yeah.
Because Scott's coming, bringing his son. He's got a car. Y'all are starting out in Scotland, going to meet up with us. You have a car, and then I have a car, and presumably, Evan, Chase, and Ed are going to be with me.
That's gonna be better be a big car.
Well, I was just say, we're probably through a lot of the baggage in your friend's car.
Maybe not. So we'll figure that out. We'll figure the details
And then
of that out.
Well, when we meet up, I'll probably jump in Will's car or jump in your friend's car.
Something to consider. Once we're in Ireland, we're probably going to go 3 separate ways.
Are we gonna?
Because you said Scott's got kind of his own itinerary plan too, right?
So this
Map.
is Let's at least get through this, and then we can figure out where we're going and
so
everything here.
This is Scott's plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is also my plan.
Gotcha.
And if you can indulge me here for more than 25 seconds in a shot, you're going to understand the logic of this plan.
Okay.
Because this is designed to be able to hit as much as you can in the different areas. So first night in Belfast, probably the next 2 nights in Portrush, maybe a night in Donegal, which is that next dot that you're seeing right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I was just looking. I think I have
stop
it on here
looking. Let's get let's at least get through the can you make that bigger so we can see the whole island? Okay. All right. Night 1, Belfast. Night 2, Portrush, possibly night 3. Maybe night 4 in Donegal. Definitely nights. If you go all the way down, see the bottom there where Galway is.
Yeah.
So it's likely 2 nights
In Galway?
in Galway.
How far is the drive from Portrush to Galway?
That's
Looks like that's
a
the
good
biggest-
5 hours, 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
And that's where the cliffs are. There's a whole, the Atlantic coast. Like that's why there's a couple of days broken up there. And then going an hour and a half south of Galway will be one night in Limerick. So if you want to slide the map down. So if you're in Limerick, that gives you about an hour drive, whether you want to go to Cork, you want to go to Killarney, you want to go to Dingle,
Gotcha.
and all of those
So
things.
not a far drive from either of those.
Nope. And
Okay.
then the last 2 nights will be back in Dublin.
Oh, you guys
So
are spending on 2 nights in Dublin?
last 2 nights in Dublin. So that way it gives a full day of anybody that wants to go south of Dublin, anybody that wants to do anything in and around. I mean, the last night in Dublin is basically packing up and getting ready to leave the airport at 5 in the morning.
5 in the morning.
Flight leaves at 8 o'clock.
Oh, maybe we're not on the same flight. Is it that early of a flight?
I thought it's 3 in the afternoon.
I thought it was too.
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
It's 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, you know, it might be because I think I have it. It's saved as West Coast time on my map.
Oh, that's
That might be
You
why.
scared me for a second.
I was like, no, I think it is at 3 o'clock.
Well,
in the
regardless,
afternoon.
you know, that's a
Then we
day.
get back here at like 8 o'clock at night
Yeah.
or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's a day we're not doing much there other than
Mhm.
breakfast and then loading up and heading to the airport. So
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's going to be like. I'll be interested to see the Dublin airport, to see how it is to get in and out of that place. Most international airports, as far as overseas, have been super easy to get in and out of.
Yes.
So hopefully that's the case over there. We'll see.
so this
So this is a well-planned trip, as you guys can see. They've got nights. They are specifically staying in different areas, etc. They've got plans as far as they're going to book a hotel into those areas. Are you guys pre-booking your hotels?
Well, Scott has. I think what I think
Excuse me.
I think we're going to be doing Airbnbs because it'll just be more cost effective that way. That's one thing I got to talk to the guys about to figure that part out.
Yeah, because there's 4. Is it 4 you guys?
four of us, and so
I'm fine with Airbnbs. The only thing about Airbnbs with me is I snore.
What does that have to do with that Airbnb? It'll be all right.
So I'm afraid that I'm going to piss someone off by not, because I can pass out anywhere. You guys all know that. And my thing is,
surprised you're awake now.
Yeah, I'm scared. Like, if anybody able to sleep around me if we do an Airbnb when I'm snoring my ass off.
I'm sure everybody slept the last time you were in the Airbnb.
Well, Danny can sleep with me around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Anyway, so
Go on.
this is the route, and then also with that, there's a couple spots like Galway. Out of all the places there, Galway's like the most expensive place to stay. So that's one where I want to spend time there.
Mm-hmm.
We may find an Airbnb that's like outside of Galway, like
fine with
because
me.
I don't really care to. It's an ocean front town. It's a tourist destination. It's basically the Beverly Hills of Ireland, but there is some cool shit to see out there. But so we may end up, maybe a little bit outside of Galway.
This is the Galway City Center. Let's
Yeah.
just say, I actually kind of got it already mapped in there.
Yeah, wait till you see some of the places that pop up. Look at that, $1,100 a night.
Yeah, that is crazy. Let's see. Let me enlarge this.
400 is not
There's
bad.
T7. I think the Madison House is where Scott booked, if I'm not mistaken. but
University of Galway rooms.
That's a hostel
yeah, I figured.
for $192 a night. 100 bucks for a hostel.
I mean, these coach house hotels, I'd have to see what these are. $100 a night. I mean, depends on where you're gonna stay, right?
yeah.
Look at this little cool little boutique hotel, and that's typically what we'll do. And so, for those listening, this is a mapped out planned trip very well. They've got specific dates that they're going to stay in. One of the things that I've realized is that I am terrible at booking my stuff out that way. I will tend to pick a hotel on my way to the next city. So I'll use hotels.com. Well, I used to use hotels.com. I haven't decided if I'm going to use something different this time, but hotels.com. And then as we're coming up on it, I will just find out what hotels are there and go from there. My wife does the finalizing before we get there, just because she has certain criteria that don't matter to me. It's if it has a bed, I'm good. She needs like 4.5 stars or above in a safe neighborhood and all that stuff. It's just not as important to me. But yeah, I mean, and this is where I think that people get inundated with a lot of information, like, oh, where are we going to stay? How are we going to do this? I think that when you're traveling overseas, there are so many places to stay, whether it's you're a single person or even if you're married, you want to stay in a hostel when it's very inexpensive, or if it's a boutique hotel, which is typically what we stay in. We stay away from the chain hotels. Airbnb is a great way to travel when you're with 3, 4, 5 different guys. So obviously you're not all getting separate rooms. It's a great way to save some money. But for us, it's very difficult for me to pinpoint exactly where we're going to be. Because like I said, if I want to stay somewhere, if I want to go out chasing waterfalls or going on a 5-mile hike, I want to be able to do that and not be concerned with I have to get 2 hours out of town to the next hotel that we booked. If my trip's going to last a little bit longer, I need to be able to just be kind of on the fly with that. Go back to Greece real quick. We went to Zakynthos, which is on the opposite side of Athens of the island. And we had 2 days of pure rain while we were there. Well, that was one of the most beautiful islands I've ever been to. So it was 70 and sunny the next day. So like, oh, we're staying an extra night. Stayed an extra night at the same hotel. No big deal. Didn't have to worry about like canceling my next hotel or things like that. So it just depends on what you're comfortable with. But I like to let people know, like, you don't have to be so detailed as to, hey, I know we're going to stay at this hotel. We're going to stay at this hotel. Now, when you're traveling with families, kids, obviously you've got to have a little bit more strict of an itinerary, I guess you would say. But at the same point in time, I would say, you know what, like, people long before us shared a hotel room with 2 kids laying on the floor, sleeping on the floor. Like, we thought it was the coolest thing in the world when we were kids, and you're sleeping on a hotel room floor or whatever. So, don't be afraid to like not go bougie with it. Just enjoy the fact that you're in a different country, experience a different.
Speaking of not going bougie with it, Evan, is that a stamp on your hand from the bar you were at last night?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Somebody doesn't take showers before bed.
I'm not gonna lie. When on the weekends, during the week, I take a shower when I wake up. On the weekends, I kind of like shower like
as necessary.
As is necessary. Yeah. I smell good. Don't worry.
Luckily, I'm congested. I can't smell anything. But yeah, so those that have been to Ireland or Scotland, if you've got comments on, what are great places that, we should visit or that we should see, I'd love to hear it. I'm always
and we might go
excited
live a few times.
I don't think we're going to go live there. We saw what that was like today without service. It was a disaster.
Well, we have to find out. How about we
but
find
I do have a podcast set up. We're going to do a podcast
Okay.
in Scotland. We're going to do it from a castle, the Pod Castle. I'm going to call that episode.
Well, we could do a thing like at the bar if there's free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I agree. I think. Well, not only that. So I'm going to have my DJI mics, and we're going to hook it up to my DJI Action 5, and we're just going to record a podcast like that.
Okay.
I'll bring it back here, and we'll have one camera angle with multiple, audio. But yeah, I'm going to be. I told my wife, anybody that's willing to sit down and talk, why not? The more you can learn about a different country. So we arrive on Friday morning. So Saturday afternoon, I have a podcast with a real estate agent from Scotland. So I'm excited to hear what that's like, what's like being a real estate agent in Scotland, but also just his input on, everything that's going on in Europe, but also places to see, things to do, what the Scots think of the Americans that come travel and tour their country. Fortunately for me, I have a Scottish heritage. So there is actually ruins of my castle, Castle McEwen, in the far western side of Scotland. There's nothing there but literally a pile of rocks that says Castle McEwen. Apparently our ancestors have begun to take back their land.
I challenge you to bring back a piece of the rock.
I won't bring back a piece of the rock, but I will gladly take a picture of it. It is a sketchy drive there from what I've seen. But there's also McEwen Brewery.
Ooh.
Yeah, so at this local pub on the west side, apparently they still sell Castle McEwen's. There's whatever it's called. So
Oh, we got room on the show for some right there.
I am definitely going to. Let's see if I can find it.
I think you misspelled your own name.
No, it's spelled a little bit different.
Oh, okay.
It's spelled they're like that. So here it is right here, McEwen's Beers. I think this is it. So anyhow, yeah, I'm excited to hopefully bring back
Are
a can
you
of
sure
that.
you didn't just see
Make
another
that up?
name and then you're like,
No,
no, that's how they spell it?
it
over there.
started with my search of McEwen, Scotland. What do you call it? I wanted my
Well, check
family
this out.
crest.
Watch. Search
Hold
my.
on, right here. McEwen history, family crest, coat of arms. So there's my coat of arms.
Yep, and I see it spelled correctly.
Yes, it's spelled correctly on that. Then there's a history of it. So McEwen Scottish History Brewery.
Yeah, I see Google.
William
Did
McEwen.
you mean?
Look at that. William McEwen opened the. So I actually came across it when I was reading the story about like the McEwen Castle, and then it came across there. I can't remember the name of the place.
Well, I have a beer named after me. Watch this. Watch search David.
So here's McEwen Castle.
Coors Light.
See? Right here. Hold on a second. McEwen. There's my castle ruins right there. So I'm gonna go.
Well, now wait, that's two people. And that's a different name. His name is Mac Ewan.
No, it is not.
It says it right
Castle
there.
McEwen right here.
Castle Mac
Okay.
Ewan.
Here's the castles of the clan McEwen. Look at that. See? Yeah, here, guys. Challenge my family.
Watch this.
history.
Watch search my beer. Watch this. Watch. Put in David Coors Light. Boom. See? There it is.
David Coors. Let's see what David Coors brings up.
Yeah, look, see, you got my thing up there. And
David Coors.
wait, is that
Live,
Lainey
live,
Wilson?
laugh, love, even better with the beer and whiskey.
And then there's Lainey Wilson over
yeah,
there.
this guy's a big fan.
She comes and hangs out. Whatever.
Anyhow, I'm hoping that I'll be able to see that. It was talking about how it was way off the beaten path and whatnot, but who knows? I mean, if you're going to go to Scotland, I do plan on getting my coat of arms tattooed on me, though. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
I might get mine tattooed.
Yeah. What's your
Yeah,
How
what's
about
that one
How
called?
about you say it? How about you say it?
the Sheehan family?
Oh, God.
Sheehan family.
Yeah.
Wait. What was Sheehan syndrome? It started populating.
Sheehan syndrome is a condition where the pituitary gland, a small gland at the base of the brain, is damaged due to severe blood loss during childbirth. Well, that explains so much.
Oh my
That makes-
goodness! Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, wait! No! There's more. There's more information. You got to read the rest of it.
This
damage.
damage can result in a range of symptoms, including difficulty breastfeeding, menstrual irregularities, fatigue, and decreased sex drive. Oh, do you have Sheehans?
No, I don't have
Sheehan clan, Ireland. So let's see where the Sheehan clan, an Irish clan originating in the Gaelic surname. Good luck with that. Meaning descendant of peace is primarily found in countries like
Oh, maybe
Limerick,
that's us.
Cork,
Sheehan
and
is
Kerry. So it's
spelled.
a southern. Looks like.
Yeah, Limerick. We're going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My,
have
my
derived-
family wants me to visit our place.
Well, you see,
Yeah.
Here's your coat of arms, family crest. Let's
Yeah.
see what it is. It's got a bird
it's
on
got
it.
a bird.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's pretty cool. That looks like a peaceful clan.
Caw-caw.
It looks like a peaceful clan.
I think that weird word was probably Sheehan spelled in Gaelic. That
Oh, probably.
that's probably what that was.
Top of the morning to yous. I'm looking for nothing but peace with my beer.
I love it.
Yep. Yep.
Hey,
What's the pendant?
You know, we can say this now because we've been blocked off of his social media. But what are the chances somebody comes back with Luke syndrome and starts
Oh,
speaking
God.
only in Scottish or Irish?
We had to spend a long
That-
time.
that'd
Oh
be
my
great.
God.
That would be
boy.
great, lad. I spent so much time over in the European regions of Ireland and Scotland that I just talk like this all the time. I don't even know I'm doing it.
Don't you know?
Oh my God. If you do that here,
Oh,
Holy
we'll go to the
shit.
bar on the first night. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? I'm sorry I've been over there in the Irelands for so long. I just talk like this naturally, don't you? I'm not faking this at all, lad.
I think your heritage is coming out because it's coming way too natural. to
It's-
me.
yeah, way-
I'm actually surprised that didn't sound too awful. I mean,
no, it's not. It's not bad at all.
That's awesome. So maybe I'll just walk over there and talk like that.
And I won't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
They'll probably
David,
call me out for it.
I
Maybe
might
this
get a little
American
drunk
thing.
out there.
What?
Yeah, because they have really good mead.
Mead.
Mead?
Yeah, in Ireland.
Weed?
Weed.
Mead. MEAD.
So hey, speaking of,
What's mead?
we did want to visit the Guinness factory. Where mead is like a what
It's
is
honey
it?
wine. It's from Viking era, but also it got introduced in the Nordic regions too. Look up honey mead in Ireland. Just type it in. There's a lot of facilities. that
Honey
they-
mead, Ireland. Irish honey mead, a fermented honey beverage with a rich history in Ireland, and is being revived by meaderies
Love
like
it.
Kinsale Mead Company.
so good out there.
All right.
Okay, I'll try that.
I mean, I'll try anything. So speaking of drinking,
Yeah,
are we planning to attend the Guinness factory?
I think we should.
Oh,
yeah.
and
So
the
that's
Jameson.
that's in Dublin, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we could do that that could be the morning of we fly out.
yeah. Or
it
either
opens
those
early
days,
enough.
but yeah.
The only thing is, I don't know if we could get. I could get us a tour, but not the VIP tour because we at least months heads up for that.
Are you sure? Maybe there's a discount.
Well, I could get all of us in probably for free.
Well, let's get to work on that. Then.
I'll watch
VIP.
what I just give me the day and time. We have to
Let's
get
see
me-
let's figure the last day. What time? Let's see what time they open. So what is it called? The Guinness Poorhouse?
the storehouse.
storehouse.
Guinness
Yeah,
storehouse.
because I got us. I got my parents a tour with me when I was there last time.
All right, 9:30 a.m. Fuck yeah, we
Money.
we could return the rental cars to the airport, catch an Uber to the freaking Guinness storehouse, get wicked wasted, and then Uber
guys-
back,
Then
get on the
Hey,
flight.
if
be
you guys
not
wanted
allowed
to-
to get on our flights.
Yeah. Holy.
and
shit.
then Evan gets arrested because he's there without a valid passport.
I mean, if we could get there at 9:30, that'd be fantastic. Because I mean, if we could do that the last morning, because I feel like it's something to do. You could do it for a couple hours, grab something to eat, and then head to the airport
Yeah.
at noon, 1:00.
I saw that they have a restaurant built into
They
it
do.
too.
Yeah.
They do.
Saw that.
So that could be something we all, regardless of where we're all at, we kind of connect that last day there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna get to Ireland the night before, or to Dublin the night before, but I don't know what time.
Yeah.
I do need to see some of Dublin, I guess. But we'll see.
Dublin. When I was there, it's interesting city. They have they have a lot of tourist traps.
They got a lot of migrants there.
Yeah,
right
they
now,
do.
too.
They do, and they have a lot of interesting shops. They have some very interesting. You might find one of those hats you like.
I got the store hat. I'm definitely gonna get a what do they call that? A cabbie hat over
Yeah,
there.
they have a bunch of those.
I'm hoping I can find one of those. The Dark Hedges. Wait, what? Oh no, Malahide Castle and Gardens. Let's see what that is. I don't see it. 27, 26. Oh, here we go. This is
Oh,
outside
that's cool.
of Dublin. I
Oh, we
do-
saw that. I saw that when it was last time I was there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's a castle, but it has a lot of graves around it, and there's
Ooh, fancy. Maybe we could do our final podcast here
Is that the
before we come home. We can all get together and talk about our experiences. Oh, look at this little boy
Is that
band here.
Oasis?
I don't know who that is.
Is that the castle that they have the thing where you kiss the brick?
Don't remember.
No, it's not the
I
Blarney
don't
Stone.
think that is. Are you guys gonna do that?
I'm not doing it. My brother
Kiss
did.
the
Blarney.
castle. Is that Ireland?
Blarney Stone.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it
the
is.
The
Blarney
Blarney Stone.
That is what it is. The Blarney Stone.
Stone. I'm
where-
gonna mushroom stamp that thing.
Oh
Where
my!
is that at? So, tourists all over the world are gonna kiss your mushroom stamp. That is
Cork?
just outside of Cork.
Yeah, we were there.
So I did see this. I don't think I even put this on my thing on
Yeah.
my itinerary.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we don't need any extra. We're gonna go find the new Instagram spots, not the ones. that
Yeah,
are
I think
already-
that's that goes back to being in a car too. Because when you're over there, I mean, and here for those listening, public transportation in Europe is so light years above what it is in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can essentially take a train anywhere. They're safe. From what I can,
I want to find the hidden gems in Ireland, like the hidden castles, the hidden because there's a lot of stuff that's abandoned castles.
Well, I think a lot
and
of that
stuff.
comes to being in a car, right?
Yes.
When you're driving
100%,
around
yeah.
and you take a road and you're like, "Ooh, what is that?" and you just stop.
Yeah.
Even like simple places like Hawaii and things like that. Like, we found just driving around, you'd come across, you'd see like this little 8x10 stick in somebody's yard that'd be like glass shop. And we're like, what's that? Pull in, and it's like you're right there with the guy in his garage while he's pouring hot glass and making all kinds of cool stuff, and you're like, whoa, that's cool. So yeah, I think that's definitely a big part of, once again, driving on your own, and being able to just stop and go, and that's part of having an itinerary that's flexible for the most part. But yeah, so we talked about a couple of different things tonight, guys. We talked about how easy it is to drive over there. We talked about some different hacks to get
one other
cheap
thing
flights.
we didn't cover.
What's that?
Mobile data and cell phones.
Oh, I have AT&T. Who do you guys have?
I have AT&T.
Who do you have, Ev?
I have Verizon, but there's also an apps you can download
by Saley, for instance,
like
sponsor of the Thirsty channel.
No.
Do you have something better that actually pays or sponsors you? Tell us about it.
No, nothing like that. But I've used it in Europe and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can buy an automatic eSIM card for any country you go to.
So I just use AT&T. I just pay for the international plan. It's like $100 a month.
That's what I've done before.
You use your phone like it's a regular phone over there. You mentioned you have somebody with the...
Yeah, there's a Saley. That's a good eSIM provider. You download the app and you can click day of, and you can get a 2 gig. I think you pay $15 for the whole month. So super cheap.
So does it allow you to use your phone as a cell phone and everything while you're there?
Yeah, you just basically enable like your Wi-Fi calling over it, so it's just like you're at home.
Gotcha.
So you got 2 gigs a day.
Well, this
day.
gives you unlimited data.
For how much?
$2,200.
No, it's $35 for unlimited data.
Oh, so 35. So I know my math's a little weird, but is 35 more or less than $14.99?
It's more.
Okay, just checking.
Well,
Thanks.
so here's another aspect too.
Use a lot
it
of
also
data.
depends on how much data you're going to use. Evan likes to watch Instagram reels for hours upon hours.
Yeah,
now you're going to have to just keep your eyes open. But for me, for AT&T, and I'm surprised you're using anybody, because AT&T, I think it's $15 or what is it, $50 a day or something like that. But
$8.99. Well, when we were in Iceland, I was using that. It was $8.99 a day for international roaming, but I needed to take phone calls while I was over there.
So they have an international plan. I can't remember how much it is per day, because the first time I didn't even use it until like the last day I was on my trip. But it was X amount of dollars per day. But what it does is after you get to 10 days, it just becomes $100 flat.
Yeah.
So maybe it is $10 a day.
So maybe rather than watching reels, you should film some reels.
Ooh. Oh, I'm going to be filming a lot over there.
Okay, just checking.
A lot. Okay, you got to understand. I'm bringing 3 cameras.
Yep.
Plus my normal camera.
All right, so let's talk. Okay, well, go ahead. Plus your normal camera. What's your normal camera?
The Canon.
Why are you bringing 4 cameras?
Well,
can you use them all at once?
Yeah, I can take, because I'm going to try. I'm gonna no. I'm gonna try one to my bag, the one that looks like a hero, and then I'm gonna have the one the smaller one on my chest.
Oh, okay. So when you say 4 cameras, you don't mean like 4 DSR cameras?
No. I'm using and then I'm gonna try. I have a new attachment that uses the DJI on top of the camera.
Okay.
So
what DJI goes? What mounts on top of the camera?
The DJI, the
Pocket,
Pocket Cam 2 that I have.
So it mounts on top of the camera?
Yes.
Is it connected to the camera?
No, but you can connect it to the camera.
So it's just videoing whatever you're pointing your camera at.
Correct.
POV for the camera.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's
one way.
I wanted to.
I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff out there. Like, I keep buying different connected things to do whatever, but I'm done buying camera equipment, at least for this year.
That's funny.
Okay.
So for, I don't want to get into regular luggage, but for electronic equipment, creator equipment, I'm going to bring in I think I'm going to bring one of my A6700s for photography. Although I haven't 100% decided, because it's just one more thing I got to carry around. But I am going to bring my DJI Pocket 3. I am going to bring my DJI Action 6 or 5, whatever it is. And then I am going to bring the drone. So the DJI, what is it? The Micro 4 or whatever. And I think that's it. I am going to bring wireless mics so we can do some podcasts, and I'll have my MacBook Pro with me. I'd love to bring my other MacBook, but when Lancer 300 by Colax came out, they decided to make the laptop bag big enough for a 14-inch, but not a 15-inch. So,
Damn.
yeah, it's kind of disappointing because I really don't want to brew it. And then obviously memory cards, I'll do that. But what are you bringing as far as gadgets and gadgets, David?
2 GoPros. Those are kind of going with me everywhere now. Initially, I had intended to bring a drone.
What happened? What happened there?
Well, see, what had happened was drone was up like this, and this other thing was up like caw, and I just I think a bird tried to fuck my drone, and
Where's your drone now?
it
Being
is
gangbanged by a bunch of birds.
basically being gangbanged by a bunch of birds atop an 80 to 90 foot tree in Wayne County, Ohio.
At least you know where it's at.
I do know
Shout
where
out
it's
to
at.
GGI for their awesome home sense. Literally show
Find
you
my
the
drone.
last few feet of your drone landing and give you specific coordinates that you
Yeah.
can plug into your iPhone maps, and it'll take you right there.
Yep. So then
So you just need that to go up the tree.
I do, yeah. I still like the idea of we'll go grab a helicopter and one of y'all just reach right
I'm
out
fine
and
with
get
that.
it.
I'll
Like,
do it.
but I have so yeah, shout out for the Find My Drone. That led me right to it. I turned on the beacon so I could hear it. I couldn't really see it, but I know which tree it's in, which is good. But and then shout out to them again for the flyaway protection, because I did file that. So the good news is I have a replacement drone coming. The not so good news is that it's not going to be here probably until a couple of weeks after we get back. So
Oh, did you get any kind of information on that yet? 'Cause
Yeah.
that was what, 2 days ago.
yeah, and they basically they want you to upload flight logs, and they want this and they want that, like typical things to try and slow you down so that maybe they'll not have to replace it.
Of
But
course.
but they're going to replace it, but it's going to be probably 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm thinking that I may buy another. I was already thinking about buying another anyway to have as a backup. So I was looking at some smaller ones, and because there is actually, I have the mini 4K. That's kind of my mainstay with the drone. It's perfect. I got all the batteries for it and everything. So I'm definitely keeping with that platform for now,
Right.
because I've just got a ton of accessories for it. But I'm thinking about maybe like the Neo or some of the others. I actually had a really wild idea, which I thought would have been really cool. I was on Amazon a little bit late last night, just searching like, let's just see what like the cheapest 4K drones are, and maybe we turned it into a product review kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you guys probably wouldn't believe this, but what do you think the cheapest 4K drone there is out there?
Sells for, or what's the name of it?
Yeah,
What
the
do you
sells for.
I say.
Well, you
I
get
s-
a DJI, the Pro, I think is like $600.
Yeah, no.
$700.
This is nowhere near the caliber of
So
that.
yeah, but I'm saying you could probably. I mean, all you need is a 4K camera, so maybe 250.
Yeah, the mini 4K, which I mean, I love it. Is I believe right now it's selling for $299.
Okay.
So that's kind of the they have the Neo, which is $199 stripped down. But yeah, if you go, I think you'd be surprised if you go and you search. Don't search DJI, just search 4K drone. There we go. And then search. Just put it to give you sort it. Maybe put the price at like.
Oh, here we need 4K.
Yeah, 4K.
We'll
What's
just
the
put
cheapest?
price.
Yeah, put that, and then
under
do the
175.
sort for lowest to highest.
Where's the sort at? I
Top
can't-
right. It should be
Oh yeah,
right there.
Search
Featured.
for low to high.
Now watch this. Scroll down just a little more.
$12.
$15.
So
Interesting.
I was in a little bit of a rabbit hole looking at some of these, and I couldn't really find one under $200 that had an actual, like when you read, let's just pick one of those, like
Can I read
that one right there.
description?
Read the description of it. Fly drone. No, go up, back up. The title of it. I mean, scroll.
Oh,
Fly drone with camera for adults, 4K HD mini drone with altitude hold headless mode, start speed adjustment drones for kids, small drone toys for ages 8 to 13 drone free. That's supposed to be the make and model of it.
wow. Foldable arms, easy to carry.
Yeah.
2 cameras can be chose with 4K wide angle camera giving wide high definition.
So when I
picture
went
video.
through like these that actually had like demo videos in there, like in the reviews, like the quality,
I mean, theirs are terrible.
it's terrible, just doesn't cover
So
it.
before my DJI drone, I had a I can't remember what it was called, but it was God. I bought this before we went to Italy. It was like a $249 drone. I still have it somewhere. I think it was terrible. Like I had to use
Phantom?
Wi-Fi or internet to
Phantom?
connect, or I had to use
Yeah.
your phone signal to connect, and it was garbage.
Yeah.
And then you had to worry about where it was going to go.
Yeah.
'cause
So
it
I
did
had
not
this.
go where I wanted it to.
I had
ever.
this idea that that's what I would do. It's like, well, let's take like one of these $50 drones.
You get 15% off right now.
Oh my
If you
goodness.
buy 2 of them.
Yeah. And I thought, do I really need a $15 paperweight?
Yeah, I can't imagine. Just look at the equipment that it comes with. This
Oh,
thing
Yeah.
comes with its own bag. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
There's no way that you're gonna get those kind of images from that
No.
camera.
All right, so better yet, let's talk about how we're gonna pack like the necessary items. Are you guys bringing just carry-ons, or are you guys bringing actual bags?
Pack. I check a bag. I can't. I
Check a bag. What about
I
you?
pack like a woman.
I pack like a woman.
Checking a bag. I mean, I'm checking a bag as well.
Well,
It's included. So I might.
I made
well.
one mistake booking this trip. One mistake.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
Are we going to keep tallies? Because
Oh,
I'd like to point out that the trip hasn't started yet.
Well, I know.
What's the first mistake you made?
I don't think I have a credit card that will work over there.
What are you
What
talking
are you
about?
talking about? Every credit card works over there.
No, not every card. When we were in Iceland, I had to constantly switch between my MasterCard and my Visa.
Is that because you've maxed your card out,
No.
or because it didn't work? Because
No.
I've used all of my credit cards.
The only
or
thing they
debit
don't
cards.
take in a lot of places over there is American Express, but Visa is worldwide. Like, that shouldn't
Visa
be any
might
problem.
work, but I really don't like using my Visa. I like to use my MasterCard, but my Discover
Oh,
card.
well, yeah, Discover would be the other one.
Yeah,
It's-
that's because I have a Discover card.
yeah.
And it's really so I have Discover and Visa. And
Well,
Visa works
you
every
better
way.
open
You-
your wallet and discover a Visa to use while you're over there.
I have
You're gonna
I have a
problems.
Visa.
Yeah.
So, but
So what was the mistake again? I don't know.
I have only a Visa
Discover
card,
cards can be used in the UK.
but not just try Discover charge.
So in Belfast and up in Portrush, no problem. But
yeah, just try Discover in Ireland. Type in that.
In Ireland?
Ireland?
Ireland. It's mainly not.
I
used.
think that I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think there's going to be any. Generally not widely accepted in Ireland. While
Yeah.
some larger shops and tourists might accept them, the majority of business prefer Visa or MasterCard.
Yeah.
I mean, you have plenty. You said you have a Visa, and you
Yeah.
just what does that have to do with making a mistake?
Well, I like to.
What, were you going to get a separate credit card just for Ireland?
No, I like to use a credit card just to use one credit card so I can track everything a lot easier.
Well, just use your
Debit
Bitcoin.
card.
Just use your Bitcoin.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Pay with Bitcoin. It'll take like 0.0001% of for every time you eat.
You could probably buy half of northern Dublin with one Bitcoin over there. I'm thinking that's the exchange rate.
when we watch a Euro trip again, they get a whole lobster feast for 5 cents and.
In Bratislava.
So pack like a woman. What does that entail for you guys?
had
What are the key important things you plan to bring based off of the different actions you guys plan to take?
Underwear.
Underwear?
Socks.
When you guys pack underwear, how many more pairs of underwear do you pack than days you're traveling?
One more
None.
day.
You pack the exact amount of underwear.
Yeah, because that's one of those items. I mean, if things get crazy, you just turn them inside out. No, if you need to, you can stop. What? No, you
I
just
shit
like you-
myself. That's okay. The other side's clean.
in the accent, of course. So no, I mean, you can grab underwear anywhere over there.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
socks as well. I do like
I
my
usually just pack an extra couple of pairs.
That's the same here. 1 to 2 days.
Usually it's because if I fall in a water puddle or something or get too soaked to whatever, it's
Yeah.
just easier to change. But I mean, I'm willing to go 2 days in a row with that too if I have to.
right.
No shit's given. No
No.
pun intended.
No.
All right, so underwear number
Yeah,
one. okay.
some hiking boots, some boots. I usually wear boots.
Are you
when
wearing
I'm flying.
cowboy boots over there?
I will.
Oh, are you?
I'm gonna be packing.
I'm hoping to bring. I'm just bringing 3 pairs of shoes. Usually,
pairs
I'm
of
like a
shoes.
7 pairs of shoes guy. I'm bringing 3 pairs. I'm gonna bring my hiking boots that I'm wearing, which are like a boot / tennis shoe,
Yeah.
high top. And then I'm gonna wear a pair of just brown boots, dress boots, or whatever you want to call them. and then I'm gonna bring a pair of white tennis shoes. That's it.
Yeah.
White tennis shoes.
Yeah, they're gonna go great with my plaid pants when I'm in Dublin
Oh boy.
or Edinburgh.
I can picture it.
No, it's pair of shoes and hiking boots.
That's it. So 2 pairs for you. I might bring some flip flops too, just to.
Crocs, of course, will be in the bag. I'll be wearing a pair of cowboy boots on the plane. I may bring a extra pair of boots. I mean, in the event we run into any dancing anywhere, let's not rule that out. And then, did I say hiking boots? I already said that, and a pair of tennis shoes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like a 5. Like I said, pack like a woman. So that's 5 sets.
I'm
of
typically
footwear.
that way, but this time, like usually, let's see, Edinburgh's only, and I'm gonna bring white shoes for Edinburgh, or I'll have my brown boots that are they can be dressed with anything. All right,
Yeah.
so shoes taken care of. Pants. What are you guys
Jeans.
doing for pants?
Jeans.
Jeans.
All
and,
jeans?
And probably 3 pairs of jeans and 2
I'll bring
pairs
it.
of.
I'll bring a pair of like
Cargos.
511s that for hiking. Like it's like what I wore in Iceland like half the time.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna bring shorts this time.
Nope.
I haven't decided. I might pack 1 pair. I mean,
That's what
I
I'm
wear
doing,
gym
1
shorts
pair.
to sleep in, but I
Yeah.
think I'll bring 1 pair of shorts just in case we get some random 70-degree day where I'm hiking
Yeah.
and it's hot. But if anything, I could just wear warm up pants, cargo pants.
I know this is going to be hard to imagine, but I'll probably pack some black T-shirts.
You don't say.
Yeah, I don't say.
So shirts. What are the shirts? So you guys, what are you guys doing?
I've
for
already answered the question.
just black T-shirts.
Probably maybe a couple of button-ups, just in the event
That's
end up-
that's what I'm gonna be wearing most of the time. Button ups.
Just like what you're wearing right now.
Correct.
I think I'm going to be more like I got a couple of sweaters, not like sweaters, but like long sleeve, like fitted shirts.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of cold wears, maybe, probably not. Then white T-shirts, just T-shirts, something that I can fit in bag small. My goal is to have my 50-pound bag limit be at like 35 when I go there, because I'm hoping to bring a couple of bottles of whiskey back from Scotland.
That's what I'm planning on. Both whiskey bottles from Ireland.
Yeah. And then other than that, that's really it. I really don't plan on bringing much else.
Well,
wet weather gear, I'm going to bring rain gear.
Well, we're all gonna have to bring rain gear because Ireland is going to be raining 1 minute and then being sunny the next. When I was there last
just
time.
like Ohio.
Yeah, for sure. My phone's about to die. Well, let's call this a night, I think, at this point. But hopefully you guys got something out of this. I look forward to us having a conversation when we get back on how everything went, whose trip, who saw what things that were kind of the favorite parts of the trip, what things you wish you would have planned better, myself included. If my wife killed me, I will not be here. But on record, Evan and David are more than welcome to do the podcast here in my basement without me, as long as they let everybody know that my wife pushed me off a cliff of Moher for using my Scottish or Irish accent too much.
He's going to be drunk doing that. Fuck yeah.
Hopefully we'll have some great podcasts. So end this note on this is podcast number 40 for us, guys. Congratulations.
Congrats.
High five.
We have officially made it to the 1%ers Club of podcasters. For you who say that it is too easy for guys to have a podcast and the podcast equipment should be cheaper or more expensive so that guys like us don't do it, I just want you to let you know 99% of people do not make it to episode of 40. So congratulations to us. Thank you for those who pay attention, even if it's just for the littlest bit.
Congratulations to Will. Will's the editor here.
Oh, yeah, I would love for somebody to take over that role. If you live in the Medina County area, you want to be part of the Guys Night podcast, we would love to have you not only as a guest, but we are looking for a young lad to take advantage of all this awesome equipment we have. If you are going to the Career Center or are interested in videography, we've got top of the line equipment here. If you'd like to come and be a part of that, be a part of producing the show, helping create some of the content that we release after the different episodes, love to have you. If you have an idea of growing in marketing, we're not here to say you got to be 25, 30, 40 years old. If you're a 16-year-old kid in high school and you want to practice editing and doing some of the stuff, we use nothing but the best software and hardware equipment, and we'd love to have you be part of the Guys Night podcast here in Medina, Ohio. But once again, congratulations, guys. 40 episodes. It's not a small feat. Hopefully we'll have 2 or 3 to upload from our trips and ventures from Scotland and Ireland that we'll be able to share with you guys. If you haven't already, comment below your favorite place in the world you've traveled, if you have a passport, if you don't, and more importantly, if you've been to Scotland and Ireland, where you think that we should see along the way. If there's something that you say is a no-brainer, might not be the biggest tourist spot, might not have heard of it before, but you should absolutely go there, let us know. And if you thought any of these points were helpful, let us know as well. And until then, signing off.
Signing off, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.